All right, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, welcome to a brand new episode of Student of the Gun Radio. That's right, it's a new weekly live public broadcast for everyone. That's what we do. And joining me in the satellite studio, if you're not watching this via video, you could be. Now, you don't have to. I understand that a lot of you just like to listen while you do other stuff, and that's cool. But if you want to watch, you can go to our official Student of the Gun Facebook page, which is growing every day. You can go to studentofthegun.com. And where else, Jared, can they go to watch the video?
I believe they can go to the Apple TV, Amazon Fire, OTT apps, but Zach can confirm that for me.
Roku?
Yes, indeed, you do. Yep. All of our smart device apps, you can go on there and check. That's Amazon Fire, Roku, Beauregard, Google Chromecast, and Amazon Fire, and all that good stuff.
People are like, there's a Beauregard app?
Kinda.
Yes.
Google it, yeah.
It's a super secret one.
Oh, man.
That only certain people are allowed to have. No. So that was the voice of Zachary. That was the voice of Jared. That's the voice of me. And now the shipping ogre, the producer, the man of many parts who you don't see, is going to play the intro music.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Yes, indeed. That is the sound of the rock and roll gunfight. That is the intro music for Student of the Gun Radio. Hey, we've got some good news. Good news. I want to start the show off with good news. Look at me trying to be positive. When forces of evil and darkness are set about to destroy this nation, I'm still going to try and point out some good news. And this is a birthday present for me. Well, not really for me because it doesn't affect me, but birthday present for the nation. How's that sound? We got a story from NBC San Diego. I think it's an old German word that means whale's vagina. Is that correct?
So we've got, I just saw
It's
Nancy
lost
Stevens.
in translation.
Yep, Nancy Stevens just popped in. She's actually down in that area. So hi, Nancy. It's good to see you.
San
Diego.
Yeah, it's been so long, it's lost in translation. No one really knows what it means.
Yeah, this was published on Dad's birthday, April 23rd. And the title is Judge Tosses California Ammunition Purchase Law.
Yes!
A federal judge on Thursday, which was April 23rd, blocked a California law requiring background checks for people buying ammunition, issuing a sharply worded rebuke of onerous and convoluted. What?
Oh, he called the law onerous and convoluted.
Yeah. I guess I'd have to read it. Here we go. So it's onerous and convoluted regulations that violate the constitutional right to bear arms. And onerous and convoluted were quotes from this dude.
From the judge, yes, in his ruling.
U.S. District Judge Roger Benitez in San Diego ruled in favor of the California Rifle and Pistol Association. Go support them because they're doing something to make changes. Which asked him to stop the checks and related restrictions on ammo. Quote, the experiment has been tried. The casualties have been counted. California's new ammunition background check law misfires, and the Second Amendment rights of California citizens have been gravely injured. And that's what Benitez wrote. And
in a 120-page opinion.
Holy cow. 120-page opinion granting the group's motion for a preliminary injunction. Okay. Voters approved toughening California's already strict laws in 2016, and the restrictions took effect last July. New York was the first state to require a comprehensive background check system for each sale, but it never took effect. That left California as the first to extend firearm background checks to each ammunition sale. 4 other states, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, and New Jersey, require buyers to undergo background checks to obtain firearms and ammunition licenses that they must show when buying bullets, and that's according to the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence.
when they're buying bullets.
And they buy the bullets,
You
not the
think
whole
that-
round, just
that-
the bullet. Right?
That they think that little brass and copper and lead projectiles. That's what.
Yep.
Yeah. I have some bullets for them. Hannah Shearer.
Yeah, Hannah Shearer, the city's litigation director,
The
called
centers.
the ruling, quote, I'm sorry, the center's litigation director, not the city's. The ruling is, quote, a dangerous step in the wrong direction, end quote. And it's at a time when gun stores are seeing increased sales to those worried about the effect of coronavirus on society or their safety.
So this mom who needs more bedroom action, Hannah Shearer of the Gifford Scumbag Law Center. Not really. It's the Gifford's Anti-Gun Propaganda Center. To prevent gun violence. No gun ever committed violence in the history of the universe. How do you know that, Paul? You can't say that. No, I can. Because a gun is an inanimate object and in and of itself can do nothing. It's like car violence or refrigerator violence or microwave violence. Dude, we got to come up with something like that. I'm going to do a story. Would that be cool? I'm going to do like a refrigerator violence story.
I think that you should do the microwave violence story because you could tell people to make a Faraday box out of an arc bag, and that will solve it'll be a safe space for the microwave violence.
Yeah, but our good people, I still think that if you microwaved your phone in a Faraday cage, it would be horrible. It would be a fun thing to watch if it was not your microwave. It was like your neighbor's or something.
If it was
through and flames and smoke came out of it.
Give it to your neighbor and say, here, try this for me. I'm going to go over here and watch with binoculars.
Yeah, I just saw a YouTube video that you could quick charge your battery in 1 minute just by putting it in the microwave.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite gags. My favorite thing was there was two. There was how to drill a jack up a port in your iPhone 8.
Headphone jack.
Yeah, or your iPhone 7 or whatever when they first came out and they didn't have the standard aux jacks, and they're like, oh, that's because they if you tape it off and it was real detailed schematic. You have to tape it and then you measure and then you get a 1/16 inch drill bit and then you stabilize your phone and you drill. You just drill in a 1/4 inch. I like to think of metrosexual imbeciles out there, millennials out there in their kitchens drilling their iPhone 7s. Yeah, and then trying to go to the Apple store and trade it in. It broke. I want to claim a warranty. I think the people got burned way more with the quick charge your battery with 1 minute. Just put your iPhone in the microwave and hit 1 minute and it quick charges your battery. I want to believe that happened thousands of times. You know what? But Jared, you know what? There's no videos of that. You know why? Because their phones were in the microwave.
Well, yeah, but they have friends.
So there we go. We don't need to get into Gavin Newsom quotes or any of this other nonsense because that'll just make me mad. I don't want to be mad. I want to be happy. And so I'm happy that finally, and for all of you guys out there, all of you Trump guys, you're like, I didn't vote for Hillary and I didn't vote for Trump because I don't like Trump. Here's the deal. Who becomes the president matters because they fill the courts with like-minded individuals. And when communists like Comrade Barry Soetoro, when they're in charge, they pack the courts with liberal communists. And we're trying really hard to reverse that and fix that right now. So it does matter. It actually, whether you like Trump or not, and I'm not a Trump cheerleader. I'm not a presidential cheerleader. I don't think the president should be the commander of my life, whoever it happens to be, Republican or Democrat. I don't want the president or the federal government to even know my name. I want him to leave me alone. I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. All right, you guys want to move into the Warrior of the Week Questione?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Before we actually play the question, though, If you want to be the Warrior of the Week, it's super easy. Just call 844-207-7684. Ask a clear and concise question. And then if we choose your question, you're going to get a free bottle of 9mm plus P from SWAT Fuel. But in addition to that, I need you to send your information to us so we can deliver that prize to you. And by information, I mean name, mailing address, email, and your phone number, please.
And type your email into the body of the letter so that it can be forwarded straight to them.
Yep.
Yes, indeedy do. All right, now the person who wrote the question came to us via the mailbag, via Post Office Box 405, Boulder, Colorado. You spelled handgun wrong. And who wants to read it? Jared, you want to read it?
Yep, I will do that. It says, "Hello, Professor Paul, Jared, and Zach. This question is for Professor Paul. I have several handguns that I've been meaning to replace the sights on. I have 2 handguns that already have night vision sights on them. Good on you. Is it a good idea to keep all my sights the same configuration, i.e. the front sight color and rear notch style, for consistency's sake, or is it not that big of a deal?" And he says, "Your response is greatly appreciated. Thank you for all that you do," and that is Don Brown.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you for that question. That's a good question. And, yeah, consistency, depends what you're going to do with the handguns. If the handgun you're talking about is just for fun, like, for instance, you just, on the weekends you go out and you shoot targets with it with your buddies, or you shoot cans or whatever, then it's probably not that big of a deal because you're not really under stress. When you're engaging in recreational activities, you're not under stress because you're having a good time, right? So you have the time to find the sights, to align the sights. That's why many people will say, "I don't see what your problem with 3-dot sights is. I have no problem with them at all." And I'm like, "Well, how do you shoot your guns?" "Well, I go to the range and it's a nice day because I only go to the range on nice days. And I take my time and I shoot my target, and I never had a problem, not one time." I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you've never been laying on your back in the dark with bright lights all around you trying to shoot something that's trying to kill you. That's why you don't see the problem." If you're using a gun that's going to be safe, it's a life defense tool. It's a self-defense tool. Yeah, you want consistency. You want to remove as many variables as possible. We've talked about this at length previously about training programs and about how you engage, targets with your gun and how many safeties you want to have on your gun. Do you want to have a grip safety and a slide-mounted safety and all these? The more variables you put into the problem, the longer it's going to take you to solve that problem, right? I mean, how many of you guys remember advanced math when you were when you were a little kid and you're in elementary school? It was just 2 + 2 and then 2 × 2. And then you got advanced in it and you started doing the brackets and the parentheses. You're like 2 × 2 plus 6 divided by 2 plus 1 blah, blah, blah times 8.
I just fell asleep.
Solve for that. Think about that. So when it comes to fighting with a handgun, you don't want that complex math problem. You don't want the solve for, right? Because the solve for includes a lot of thought process and time and so forth, whereas 2 + 2 is easy. What you're looking for when it comes to saving your own life is 2 + 2. You're looking for easy. You're looking for simple. You're looking for something that's straightforward. And I would suggest that, and quite frankly, your front sight, Dave Biggers, my good friend Dave Biggers, who used to pimp for a sight company, he said that he has handguns that have sights on them, and they also are equipped with laser grips. So you guys remember laser grips, right? And somebody said, well, isn't that redundant and isn't that pointless? And why would you have both? And he said, well, I have both because I use either one as my go code, right? He said, when I point the gun at the target, the threat, the thing I need to shoot, he goes, if my vision picks up a clear front sight on the target, that's go, right? I know that I'm good, go, press the trigger. He goes, or if my vision picks up a red or green dot in the center of the target, go. I don't have to wait for the other one to appear. I don't have to wait for either one. Either one of them is a go code. So what you could do and what you should do if you're practicing with a handgun for self-defense is when you're going to be looking at the target. That's what you want to be looking at, because in the real world, if something is threatening to hurt you, your eyes are going to be focused on that thing. You're not going to be looking down at your waist, and you're going to be focused on that thing. Two eyes open. And then your brain gets that, it's time to go. You pull out a pistol, you push it in front of your body, and then in your vision appears what? An orange dot, a yellow dot, a white dot, a tritium green dot, a whatever. And when you do that, in an instant, okay, my front sight is indexed on the target. It's trigger time, right? It's time to press the trigger. It's time to go. That's my go code, right? So what you should do, what I would suggest, is train yourself when you go to the range and you practice on paper or cardboard or steel or whatever, to look for that and understand that go code. Is the whatever. Let's say you go with the safety green neon yellow, right? You put the neon yellow safety green front sight on your pistol. You're looking at the target. You draw. There it is. Pow. Now I can shoot. There it is. And every time you're like, is it on there? Is it on there? Boom. Is it on there? Is it on there? Boom. So yes, consistency is the key to success. You want to minimize the problems or the solutions or the hoops that you have to jump through. And that's one of the ways we do it. And that's why the accurate sights are not 3-dot. That's why there's a very dim dot in the rear on a black sight and a very, very bright front sight in the front, because we want to minimize the problems. We want to minimize the variables. And that is the key to success.
And
so
to just expound upon what you're saying here is why you want to keep it simple as you possibly can, is because constantly, if you guys have heard of Colonel John Boyd, he came up with the concept of the OODA Loop. It's observe, orient, decide, and act. And our brains are constantly in that loop, constantly. So what we're doing is when we introduce something else into our vision, we have to start over, and we have to observe, then orient, then decide, then act. So the more things that you add on to that process, the more times you're going to have to go through that loop. So if we can just simplify it and say, okay, I only have to go through OODA Loop one time, then we are putting ourselves at an advantage over whatever else is on the other side of us.
yes. And that's why, if you guys know what a HUD is, HUD is heads up display. When they figured out how to put HUD, heads up display, in fighter planes, it changed the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally changed the game. They put heads up display in fighter in fighter jets, in combat helicopters, and so forth. So it used to be, in the old days, they used to have to find switches, and they used to have to let me quick check this gauge or whatever. Not anymore. It's right there. And that's what you want. You want a heads up display for fighting. And it's as simple as that. Whether that heads up display is a really bright yellow green dot or a bright white green dot or whatever, or maybe it's the reticle and an EOTech optic or something, but you want it heads up, simple, right in your face. And now it's time to go. All right. So thank you very much, Don Brown, for your letter and your question. And make sure that you send that that email to info@ so you can get your SWAT fuel.
Yep.
If you guys, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yes, do that, Don, and thank you for the question. And then we had Jeremiah here on Facebook said, what do you think about red dots on handguns? Yep. And I like them. But you have to give yourself, once you put the red dot on and you've never used one on a handgun before, you've got to give yourself some time to practice and train with that thing to get used to it. because when you punch it out, it takes a little bit to get used to making it so you can actually see directly through the dot when you punch it out, and you don't have to kind of move it around to find the dot. So put the dot on and give yourself some time to train and practice with it before you make a decision whether you like it or not.
There's somebody who looks a lot like me who wrote an entire article
Nuh-uh.
about red dots and handguns. Yeah, really, it's true.
Did you really? Would that be on studentofthegun.com?
It would be, and it would also. It's both on Student of the Gun and on Full 30's and Full 30's blogage.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to read that, Zach will pull links and put them in the show notes. But if you want to read it, go to studentofthegun.com or full30.com and go to their blog and read that thing.
Yeah,
that might have been a Full 30 exclusive. I don't know if that's on our website now that I think about it.
Yeah, it says Red Dots on Pistols, Toys or Tactical, Part 1. And I need to write Part 2. We got busy and we moved and everything, and Part 2 didn't get finished. But that's okay. Yeah, we have basically the why.
Well, you didn't say when Part 2 was coming.
Yeah, Part 2 is coming. Yeah, it's a fantastic article written by somebody who's an expert in the field. So check that out. All right, Zach, you can go ahead and thank the or Jared, you can thank the mofos at the SOTG public group.
Yes. Thank you guys for being top contributors to the Student of the Gun public group. And I'm talking specifically about the one on Facebook. You could also jump into the Student Lounge if you want. If you're not a Facebook person, jump into the Student Lounge, join the public group, and that's open to everybody. Now, what our goal with this is not to be the biggest, but to be the group of highest quality. So we do have some questions you have to answer to get in, and the admins actually go through and they read these things and say, okay, this person's serious, this person's serious. And if they don't think the person's serious, then maybe they'll contact you and say, hey, did you just kind of answer these questions because you didn't think they were important, or what's going on here? So number 10 contributor this week is Jason Wilson. Number 9 is Harry Galinsky. 8 is Adam Montgomery. 7, Steve Pergantis. 6 is Melissa Ridings. 5, Alan Blake. 4, Arturo Saran. 3 is Derek Babcock. 2 is Daniel Larson. And number 1 is Trent Wood. And the way to become a top contributor or to move up the ladder is to post and comment, and then a little, I'll call it a life hack for you. A social media life hack is to don't just share things and leave them without commentary of what you think about it. Add some commentary to anything that you share, and that'll help you jump up the ladder quicker. So thank you guys for taking the time, and I really appreciate the admins of the public group as well. I know it gets a little bit crazy from time to time, and I really appreciate the time and the effort that you guys put in to make this the group of highest quality and not the biggest. Now, you can only do so much as far as free groups, and you can only vet people so much. The where it gets real, you find the real quality is the grad program group. So if every single grad program member, if you go to getsotg.com, you pick up that free book and become a grad program member, you can join the grad program exclusive group. And that group is one of my favorite places to be. That's the only reason I still get on social media like once every other week, is to just check in and make sure that everybody in there is doing okay. And I really enjoy that group. So thank you guys. And we've got some admins there as well. I appreciate you guys taking the time and the effort to admin that group as well.
Yes, indeed. We have a lot of very dedicated people in that group. All right. Speaking of dedicated people, we have some people that are dedicated to making sure that even during this pandemic, government-created, media-created crisis, that you can still hear this show. And that would be Century Arms, the sweetest mill and arms maker in the U.S. of A. And if you want a red dot gun, actually, if you go to centuryarms.com or canicusa.com, but they have the Canic pistols, and they have the Elite Combat. The Elite Combat pistol actually has a, you can order it with a Vortex red dot already mounted on it, or you can, just buy one and stick whatever you want on there. Actually, it has multiple mounting plates. So if you don't like the Vortex, you're like, I don't like that, I like this, or I want a different one, or whatever, that's fine too. They have the SFX, which you can also buy with or without an optic, a red dot. And they also have the Elite Subcompact. Now, Jared, you're going to find this interesting, I think. Right now, on their website, they have in stock they are selling the Elite subcompacts with the Shield optics.
Nice.
Yes, already pre-installed.
Go get that.
Here's the deal. What you guys need to know is if you go to order a Shield optic, first of all, they're hard to find because they're super popular. But their price is like 300 pounds, right? Now, it's not 2-to-1 like we thought before. But the Shield optics, if you buy them from the Brits, are like 300 pounds, I think. Let me see. Shop. I'm going to go there and I'm going to say shop because I want to give you guys some good scoop here. All right. So, they even have them marked down into dollars even if you want to go by dollars. So here we go. A Shield optic.
Wow.
Available with an 8 MOA dot is $369, excluding VAT tax. You know, that's the communist British European value added tax that they put on everything. So just say $350.
And what
right?
did we learn recently, Zach? That VAT tax is not cheap.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no. VAT
When you
tax
have
is
a large
is
volume
disgusting.
of things. Yeah. So there we go.
So the MSRP, and what do you guys know about MSRP? It's the max that you'll spend, right? Not the lowest, but everything's pretty. MSRP is pretty much the highest. So the MSRP on this gun with a red dot, with a Shield optic, is $649. Well, if you figure that the red dot is costing them, the red dot's like $350. So subtract $350. So you're getting the pistol for $300. Getting the pistol for $300. That is a tremendous deal on a gun that just will not quit. It's big enough to fight with, but it's small enough to carry. That is a screaming insane deal. So, hey, live your life like you want to live it. But if that's something you're interested in, man, you're not going to beat that deal. It's not going to happen. Duracoat, what we are still doing the Duracoat Badass Finish Challenge. I know a lot of you guys got tripped up about 4 weeks ago with all this. You have to stay home and you can't go to work, or if you are working, then you're working 12 hours a day and what have you. So we kept it open. Dude, I'm about to editorialize. I was going to do my project this weekend. I still might. The freaking mercury dropped again, and it dropped back down into the 30s. And I have to do it in my garage. And the one thing about doing Duracoat, you don't want to do it in the cold. You like cold, like freezing temperatures. It needs to be warm, not super hot, but I mean, it needs to be above freezing.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do the project, you want it to be, I don't know the exact temperatures, but if you're standing in your garage or your workshop and you can see your breath, that's too cold.
Dude, you know what I don't know? I actually haven't looked at yet, and I should probably do that. Is the Badass Finish, does it work in colder temperatures, I wonder? Because it's a better finish than the standard Duracoat. So I'll have to look into that and then report back to you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it all is like super cold, but check that out. Badass Finish from Duracoat, and we've got the challenge. Some of you have already jumped in, and that's fantastic. Some of you, did you see who's the most recent one? Was it Casey Loftus? Did a shotgun with the camouflage pattern.
Oh, I didn't see it.
He put the Fighting Solves Everything gun tattoo on it. He put the Student of the Gun tattoo
That's
on it.
awesome.
Looked really good. I'm pretty sure it was Casey. Now, if it wasn't, I'm going to feel like a jerk. But in my mind, I believe it was. So check that out. And Jared, when they go to Duracoat Firearm Finishes and order the Badass, where should they post their pictures?
On the interwebs. So go to social media and use the hashtag Student of the Gun. Also hashtag Duracoat and hashtag Badass Finish.
Yep. Hashtag Badass Finish. And the answer is yes. It was Casey Loftus. He, on April 21st, he posted the pictures of his Badass Finish pump action 12-gauge shotgun. It looks phenomenal. Good job, brother. It looks like a Sage gun. It's got a lot of the Sage colors in it. It would probably fit out here in our our not atmosphere, our ecosystem.
Oh, and real quick, just to remind you guys that you don't have to bake this stuff or add any heat of any sort after you apply it to cure it. You just let it cure, and it works fantastic.
All right, Crossbreed Holsters wants you to be dangerous on demand. How can you be dangerous on demand? Well, you can actually wear your gun all the time. I know, that's a crazy concept, right? Wear your gun, have it attached to your body. Crossbreed Holsters makes the finest inside of the waistband tuckable holsters. Every tuckable hybrid holster in the last 10 years is a straight-up ripoff of the Super Tuck. And if that hurts your feelings, tough noogies, it's true. Go to Crossbreed, use the promo code SOTG18, and you're going to save yourself some ducats, some cash, some moolah, and you're going to be a happy camper. While you're there, buy a good belt. Buy a good belt. Yep. Don't try and carry your gun on a Walmart belt or JCPenney belt. It's not going to work.
That's another article that you should do kind of as a part 2 to the My First Gun thing, where as the first one that we did that you wrote was actually a kind of like a what to look for in buying your gun and then what to do after you've bought it. We should do a My First Concealed Carry or My First Gun for Concealed Carry. Yeah. Super simple. Yeah, you're actually right. So Jared just gave me another writing project because I'm only working on 4 at this moment in time. I only have 4 writing projects currently going at this moment. So I'll throw that. Are 2 of them books or just 1?
2 of them are books.
Yeah.
I got 2 books going, and then I've got the other stuff. All right, Brownells, as I said before, Brownells.com. Brownells is busting their butts to try and get you what you need. They've got their guys out there in the giant warehouse in Grinnell, Iowa, and they are doing the very best they can to try and keep you guys stocked up with all the stuff that you need. Some of it's sold out. And you're like, hey, I went to Brownells and it was sold out. Yeah, you know why? Because the manufacturer sold out. Like, for instance, we're going to talk about it tomorrow, Wise Foods. All of you people who thought you would wait until the crisis happened to stock up. Yeah.
I don't think anybody does that on purpose. They're like, I'm going to wait until the crisis happens and then I'm going to stock up.
Nobody actually says that. People just, they just put it off. They're like, well, at some point in the future, I will do that.
If you find yourself thinking that, at that moment in time, take a small portion of the money that you've got and go buy a little bit. You don't have to buy everything all at once. It's actually better if you space it out. So
check those guys out at Brownells.com and make sure you sign up for their newsletter so you can get all their promo codes. And believe it or not, unlike some companies which are anally penetrating you right now, can I say that? That are attempting to anally penetrate the gun buying public, Brownells is actually running sales on a bunch of stuff. So,
and I had some concerned citizens contact me and ask, hey, have you heard from Paul Levy lately? And so, because he hasn't been doing the Thursday videos and the Thursday gun new product videos. And so I reached out and I said, hey, you doing all right, buddy? And he replied and said, yeah, I'm doing fine. I was on vacation for a little bit, and then the coronavirus stuff happened. So I just want to let you guys know that are worried about Paul Levy and the new product videos, that he is doing perfectly fine, and they will return hopefully soon.
They locked him in the vault.
Yeah, like go in the vault and make these videos.
They locked him in the vault to keep him safe.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. If you are a relatively new listener, and congratulations to you if you are, I want you to perk up your ears, both of them, 1 and 2. Close that hole under your nose, and I want you to listen louder.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right. What is going on? Now, we talked about this on Friday, and we're going to have to be Well, we're going to have to be parental guidance suggested here because we have a family-friendly rating. But the snitches in New York won't give up. Remember, boys, how we opined and we were wondering whether or not they would be overloaded and they would have to shut down? Well, the answer is they did, but the Big Brother will not be dissuaded. No, Big Brother will not be dissuaded. They're not going to let you stupid, disobedient peasants stop them. The Ministry of Truth will proceed. And the Ministry of Truth's latest action in the People's Republic of New York is what, Jared? You got it, the IB Times, the Irritable Bowel Syndrome Times, Irritable Bowel Times. I don't know what is IB, International Business? What does IB Times stand for?
I'm not sure. But the title of the story is NYC Social Distancing Tip Line Spammed with Angry Memes, Obscene Pics, and Foul Language. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio recently launched a social distancing tip line where locals may report their fellow neighbors for violating the safety measure. However, a few days into its operation, the service has been spammed with angry memes, obscene photos, and foul language instead of legitimate reports. No kidding.
Foul mouth.
De Blasio encouraged New Yorkers to send in text messages at the 311692 non-emergency number, or use the 311 app to report social distancing violations. Individuals caught not following this order can be sanctioned with a $500 fine. So if you disobey the king, then you're going to
His Majesty.
$500.
Now, His Majesty, remember, His Majesty is allowed to go to the gym.
Yep.
Because he's part of the important people. You, however, are not. Keep that in mind.
The number that you text is 311692.
And what does that translate to?
311 NYC. Yeah.
So if you have a alphanumeric touchpad, you can just type in NYC. That's how they're supposed to remember it. 311 NYC. It's how you snitch on your neighbor. Tell this king where the Jews are so they can round them up, put them on the train. You are a scumbag communist if you use this number other than to spam these scumbags. What did he say? When you see a crowd, what should you do?
It says when you see a crowd or when you see a line that's not distance, when you see a supermarket that's too crowded or anything, you can report it right away so we can get help there to fix the problem.
So we can send the Stasi.
Yep. All you got to do is take the photo and put the location with it and bang, send a photo like this, and we will make sure that the enforcement comes right away.
So apparently there's no crime in New York anymore. There are no actual criminals or crime, because we've talked about this before, if you have time to send your police out to harass the citizens for minutia and stupid crap, if you're sending cops out to harass the citizens, if they're doing that, what are they not doing? They're not actually dealing with real, genuine, malum in se crime. But got to have priorities in life, right? We can't have cops out busting drug dealers and rapists and muggers and car thieves when they need to go deal with the line at the Quickie Mart. Yeah. All right. But overnight.
Oh, the tip line had been inundated with dick pics.
Quote, dick pics. Pictures of Richard Nixon.
Or photos of locals giving the mayor the finger. Some also sent in memes featuring the mayor's faux pas or Adolf Hitler, while others reported seeing the mayor in an uncompromising situation with someone, quote, in an alleyway behind a 7-Eleven, end quote.
Have you seen that?
What?
That actual, what that is?
No.
Alan Mayer sent a screenshot of that. It was something that was texted. It said that the report was that Mayor de Blasio was seen giving oral gratification to an African-American transgender individual behind a 7-Eleven. And that when the mayor saw him, he removed the phallus from his oral cavity and coughed in the caller's direction.
Oh, he coughed in his direction.
Yeah, he coofed in his direction.
That's right.
So, yes. And I believe that I just used the English language properly to keep it, and if you guys are, I did. I did.
think so, yeah.
It's like,
So it
venture
says-
forth and fornicate thyself.
It says, however, William Rada, the spokesperson for 311, said that the service would resume once they have gone through the messages. Quote, 311 is augmenting staff, so there's your tax money, this
There you
week,
go.
and plans to assign additional headcount to the text queue to better address these conditions in the future, end quote.
So here's what I hear. Challenge accepted. What I just heard was, oh, really? Challenge, mother fletching, mother lover, accepted. Challenge accepted, mother lover. You want to share with our public audience what we discovered and talked about on Friday about this number? You might think it only works if you're in the geographic area code of New York City. Like if you're in Texas, certainly you couldn't use this.
There's only one way to find out.
Au contraire, mon frère. Oh, no, let's just tell them. Here's the thing. We tested it. I tested it from the bunker in Wyoming, and Jared tested it from Salt Lake City, and it works. So anyone in the United States of America, if they feel scared, and if they see social distancing problems, and if they want to share their favorite Maymay, so you might be thinking, hey, I believe that the folks at the 311 NYC snitch line, I think that they might need a little pick-me-up. You know, they're really busy and it's a stressful job, and they might need just a little boost, a little inspiration, a little moral pick-me-up. And you want to share your favorite Maymay with them. You know, maybe it's a puffy coat Maymay. Maybe it's the baby with the spaghetti on its head. Maybe you could share the cat Maymay who's hanging from a branch and it says, you know, hang in there, baby, or something. You know, I don't know what your favorite inspirational, motivational Maymay is. How many millennials do you think are smashing their heads into the wall right now with me saying Maymay? I'd like to think a few. So if you have a Maymay that has touched you and brings you a little bit of joy, a smile, feel free to send it. Send it along. They could use a boost. Brighten up their day.
Did you know that Aristotle is a fan of memes?
Is he a fan of the Maymays?
Yeah.
The puffy coat Maymay?
Yeah, the puffy coat Maymay.
Zach, who's the orange puffy coat Maymay?
That is Drake.
You sure it's not Mallard?
Positive. What?
You sure it's not Mallard?
A kind of duck.
Is a
What is
Drake
it?
a kind of duck? I don't get the joke here.
We should
Coat.
just end it with that. We should be done now. We need some
Drake.
Maymays.
Meme.
We need some memes.
Somebody help me.
Please.
What the hell is he talking about?
A meme is a visualization.
No.
It's a visual explanation of the thing.
Am I sure it's not a duck?
What? No, I'm giving instructions to people.
Oh.
A meme is a visual representation, and it makes it easier for people to understand what the thing that you're talking about is. So if we can get some memes to explain the significance of Drake and Mallard and the puffy orange coat, that'd be fantastic.
All right, you guys know. All right, Zach, you realize that a cow is a female. Like not every individual species of if you see cattle.
I know how cows work.
Okay, if you see deer, there are does and bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you see an aquatic bird, there are ducks and there are drakes. All right, the drake is a boy.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I thought you would. I thought you were just messing with us because you're like the duck person. You know all these things about ducks.
I literally had no idea what the hell you were talking about.
Well, we still want some memes, please.
Yeah.
George Bratton here on Facebook says Jared the Family Troll.
They're like, everyone's like.
Dang, I thought.
So
Jack
if
was
you'd
just
like to
kidding with
send
us.
a Drake Maymay, whether it's in an orange puffy coat or whether it has a green head and a yellow bill, you can send a Drake Maymay to 311 NYC. Text it directly to them so that they can brighten up their day. You know, however you feel like. I feel like we have some folks stretched out all across the great nation of the United States of America who, in their own way, feel that they could brighten the day of the New York Stasi, of the social distancing Gestapo, the Sinker Heights-Dienst. So if you want to brighten the day of DeBozo's Sinker Heights-Dienst or his Schuhstoffel, then please feel free. Feel free. You have the opportunity. You have the ability. You could do it. You could do it. You could be a hero, because not all heroes wear capes, right? What did we learn on Friday? Not all heroes wear capes. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Please. If it's in quotes, if it's a quote, you can, I think it's okay. Do you think it's okay, Jared? If you say the abbreviation for Richard, like Tricky Dick Nixon?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it's in quotes. It's a quote in the story. I don't think that that's not one of the 8 bad words you're not allowed to say. I don't know. We'll find out. So, there you go. Are we good on time? What time are we?
Yeah,
We spent a little bit more time
47
on.
minutes.
How many minutes?
47.
47 minutes. All right, 47 minutes. I'm feeling inspired over here, quite frankly. I have found some inspiration, and I think I will create a Maymay of my very own. I think I will do that.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm going to do it. And I'm not wearing a puffy coat. I'm not wearing an orange puffy coat. Zach, do you know the origin of that? How did that even come about? Was that
that's
from
a music video?
Was it from a music video? Or was it like?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if I've ever listened to a full Drake song, but it was from a music video that he did.
Oh, okay. So that was it. That's how it became famous. All right. Well, there you go. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are out there like, come on, Paul. Everybody knows about Mallard and his orange puffy coat. So let's go ahead and just put the capper on this guy. But I can tell you what's coming up on Wednesday, if you would like to know. You're out there, you're like, I would like to know. We're going to talk about the New York City crime rate. Is it up or is it down? Did the virus drive down the crime rate? Long-term food storage and long-term food production. Is this the time to focus on feeding your family? Or will you always be able to use your favorite app to just have food delivered straight to your house? I don't know. You tell me. We're going to talk about being dangerous on demand and why that is important. And we'll have more fun and frivolity all on Wednesday's show. So I promise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Remember, unless you boys have something to say, you're a beginner once.
Thank you for listening. And you're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.